Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Audrey Ray. I wanted to add something to module number 4, and it is improving productivity and resourcefulness. So you know that the first part of module 4 is knowing when to say no. And I gave you a little framework to help you. This is specifically for people who have difficulty saying no to people they like to please, or for whatever reason they fear saying no, or there's a million reasons why people have difficulty saying no, but it's actually really, really common. So my point being, in the course, I gave you a little framework to help you figure out when should you say yes, when should you say no. I really believe that deep down, most of you, most of the time, you know the answer. You know if you should say yes or no, but there may be something holding you back. So the framework was really simple. Is if somebody is asking you to do something and you're not really sure, is it worth your time? Is it your place? The 3 questions I was proposing, the first one is it in alignment with your top goals? So in this program, you have identified your top goals, your top responsibilities, you've defined success. So when somebody presents you with an opportunity, that was the first question, is does that bring you closer to your goals? If it does, then yes, definitely consider it. Most likely you want to say yes. If it takes you off track, or if it's just not related to any of your goals, any of your priorities, then maybe find a way to say no because you just don't have the time for this. Again, I'm doing this video in 2020 where everybody seems to be overworked even more than ever before. So you just can't afford to be mismanaging your time. The second one is really what I want to talk about is it in alignment with your top values? So when I first created the course, at the time, I felt that it was critically important to not let work be nothing but responsibilities, goals. They had to be a little bit more about, is that in alignment with your values? Is there something there that really means to you something significant? And that's how sometimes we do things only because we're generous and because we care, or because it's in alignment with our values, or maybe it's because we have a passion for something. So in a way, it can be related to service to others, but it's also a little bit self-serving, in the sense that there's pleasure and it's a bit of an indulgence in something that we love. I continue to believe that's critically important. You have to have pleasure and joy in your work. I can't imagine a job where there's no pleasure, where there's no joy, where it's all responsibility and burden. That sounds horrible. But unfortunately, right now, some of you need to tone down the things that you do because you really, really love it, if it's not related to your top goals and responsibilities. Because look, what happens if you don't? If you say yes to a committee or to participating in something only because it sounds fun, but you seriously don't have the time for it, what's going to happen is either something where you must be on top of it, that's going to suffer. Or maybe you will have to take time away from your personal life. So if you have anybody you're living with, spouses, partners, children, they're going to be the ones missing out because they don't have you as much as they really could if you were more disciplined. So when it comes to number 2, again, which is it in alignment with your top values, or is it something that's just fun and it's more like an indulgence? Maybe think about it as chocolate. And it's okay to have some, but you don't want to eat 2 pounds of chocolate because you're going to get sick. So number 2, is it in alignment with your top values? Does that bring you joy? That needs to be in moderation. And number 3 is still very, very, very true. It always will be, are you doing it for the right reasons? Sometimes people will say yes for the wrong reasons. Maybe it's because they haven't learned how to trust other people, so it's about control. Some people, it's about not knowing how to delegate. Some people want to say no, but I'll say yes only because they're afraid of retaliation. What this tells me is there's an issue there with communication, influence, relationships in the workplace. Maybe there's some fears that are not founded, or maybe you are working with a tyrant, and maybe if this is true, if you really have reasons to be afraid, then you need to get another job because you shouldn't have to put up with that. So I really encourage you to go back to it. Again, it's module number 4. And if you're doing the transcript, it's on page 40 and 41. Those things are critically important. Learn to say no, figure out as many times as you can do it tactfully with no consequences. Yes, you're important. Yes, you're smart. Yes, you're amazing, but you don't have to do everybody's job, and it's time to bring some balance. Again, there's probably more and more being dumped on you this year. more than ever before. So at least you be kind to yourself. At least you make decisions that are up to you. You can't control everything, but for the stuff that you get to control, please be mindful, please be aware, and be protective of your time. Really, the kind of compassion you have for your employees is the kind of compassion you need to have for yourself. So you don't abuse other people, also don't abuse yourself. And if you really struggle with the third one, are you doing it for the right reasons and something makes you feel compelled to say yes when you know you need to say no? Send me an email, explain to me what's going on. Maybe I'll do a video for the whole class to enjoy. Again, not talking about you, your stuff stays confidential, but if it's a general answer, or maybe we need to talk, maybe we need to schedule a session, but seriously, don't stay stuck there. It's a horrible place to be and there's no reason to stay there. If you're watching this and you're not in the course, but you'd be interested in joining us, look in the description of the video in the comments. I'll put a link to the registration page if you want to take a look. All right, everybody, I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.